Hey everybody, it's Setla38 yet again. We're coming back to our monthly Things from Another World box. We're going to look at some of the pickups I had for this month. Some books that hopefully will end up breaking big in 3, 6, or even 12 months down the line. Didn't go as ham last month. I think we were at about 400 and change. We're going to look at these, try to be as quick as possible going through these, and come back to the video again after a regular sort of time and see if this was a good investment or if I just played the lotto and lost. Got some of the same things we saw last time. Looks like I picked up another copy of this. Star Wars has a new debut. But we get into the main bulk of the comics. You see some of the pickups I had from the local comic book store, the one over in Texarkana, Texas. They actually have 2 stores. We'll leave these go for just a minute, just so we don't smash those with everything that came with it. We have a brick of comics right here. Usually I pick up, well, around 3 copies of stuff I really believe in, downwards to 2 or 1 if it's something I think might have a little bit of a shot. This is a more polished way of buying comics than the last time. I was kind of a bit spendy. This is from Things from Another World up in Milwaukee, Oregon. Very good prices on pre-order comics. So what do we have here? It's been a while since I've ordered some of these comics, so I'm not going to be most familiar with everything, especially if it's a ratio or a virgin cover or something like that. Let's see what we got this time. Oh, we have a copy of Win 10 up top. Get this paper out of the way. We got a 1 out of 10 ratio of, I think, Win number 4. That was actually pretty close to retail from the Shreveport location of the local comic book store. They've got a little bit of a chain going on. So it's nice to see 10. I'm going to try to get a good angle on these. I'm not happy with the shot as is. That might work. We get most of the picture, most of the comic in frame. Let's see if we keep going back. Just the hair. Another copy of Wind. So one of those is a alternate cover, a ratio, something like that. Trying to get a good vibe going. I haven't figured it out yet. We have the AAPI version of Wolverine 15. That's a cool looking piece of art. In Yuck cover. So some of these we've seen already. I picked up after the cutoff date for the first version of pre-order. This is the first copy of White I've gotten. This has been one hot comic. I think each version has 2,500 copies made. If there's a show that's made of it, it's just going to skyrocket. A few copies of that. A few copies of Chapter 1 here. This is a reprint. Have to see what version it is when we pull out the manifest from TFAW. We saw the last version of this. We had the Kickapoo Captain America. This one is Agbayani. So if any of these go off on a tangent, if there's a, I don't know, alternate universe, multiverse of madness with some of these Captain Americas coming on down the line, that should break big as well. Unicorn, I have heard a bit of hubbub about. Haven't had a chance to read it yet. I'll have to crack into one of those. Should be 3 copies of that. This is a big new comic line, of course. Lots of changes with Spider-Man. Miles taking up a symbiote. There being a new, in quotes, Spider-Man. So a lot of these things might be key issues coming out. Just got 2 copies of that. Had a Thor, another variant edition here for number 16. Fantastic art here. What else do we have? Lots of big Marvel and Well, not too many DC ones this time around, but just as I said, King Shark. Great role this time with the Suicide Squad. Great inclusion in the Harley Quinn show. Very hot right now for that. Anything to do with Star Wars and new characters is going to be a hit. This one is Boosh or Boish, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to come back here in the middle part of 2021, of 2022, and see how things have went. There's a few variant covers here. I think I had the variant initially. A few copies there. We got some Star Wars, High Republic Adventures. Another one that they're just pumping out new characters, and any of those that get put into a show or one of the new Star Wars movies as it comes out. I just picked up a Star Wars, Kylo Ren first appearance in comic for $30 today, and if you can buy the comics now for $2 and change, it makes sense. You can make 10 times your investment. What else do we have here? We have another High Republic one, similar sort of logic. Lots of cover appearances, lots of new characters that get brought up here. We saw this last time, so I won't keep with this very cool variant. Looks like a movie cover. There we go. So, one-shot Spirit Rider here. Lots of changes to traditional characters. Some new shake-ups with regards to Ghost Rider, with Doctor Strange. And of course, everybody knows about Something is Killing the Children. Great pickup right now. Any of these comics. Might not be a ton of value unless it's a key issue, but one of those that does have a lot of value is Shang-Chi. That movie was fantastic. Took the daughter out for it, and she loved it. This is one I actually picked up to read on my own. Looks fun. Red Room. Okay, so last few comics of the first half of this brick. Some nice House on the Lake versions from Tinian. I put up $250 to be part of his Substack, which should get us some variants, some weird comics he dug out of a shed, I suppose. That's what he's telling us. A few copies of Moon Knight. Moon Knight's going to be big. There's, a show coming out here in the next year or two. Had the variant edition, have the plain edition here too. The light is getting to some of these comics. Let's see what we got left for the last few. More Moon Knight. A reprint, second printing of Moon Knight #1. There we go. We got a better light on that if I hold it this way. We got a risque cover of Sweet Paprika, Mirka and Dolfo's comic that has a little bit of hubbub about it. You know how a lot of those comic book people are loving the endowed drawings. I've got a friend that I went to high school with that is somebody does that sort of art. He has done stuff for Zenoscope, and I think Dynamite did a cover for Image. And that's his bread and butter. All the money he makes is drawing voluptuous, well-endowed ladies. Get a little bit of packing peanut ASMR here with the second brick. Let's see if I can get this out of here without knocking everything over. Oh, what are we doing here? Maybe. Got my Arkansas sign. It's threatening to knock over random stacks of cards, so that would be delightful to pick up after this video is done. All right, stack number 2. Have a little bit more wiggle room this time, so maybe we can get stuff in shot just a bit better. That's pretty cool. I've been getting a few limited editions from comic shops, and the value has risen pretty high. If you can actually get keyed into getting the books when they're offered, you get into that window when 3 minutes, 5 minutes, where 250 copies go out the window, you can really get a little bit of extra spending cash. Well, anyway, let's look at the second brick. Again, same sort of things. There'll be 3 copies of a number of different issues. Looks like we start off with Sweet Paprika number 3 of 3. Okay. What else do we have here? Scotty Young's The Me You Love in the Dark. We have a few of these. This is the second printing. Yeah, second printing of this really cool art style. A homage, I forget what 70s movie that is, but to a very classic piece of cinema that I'm blanking on right now. Another hot comic. Anything from Boom Studios is just bonkers right now. Another copy of Ma. Always good to get in on the ground floor. You saw Kang at the beginning. We got a variant of Kang number 2. A few copies of those. We saw that Kang one already. Kaiju Score. I think I got 2 copies. Yeah, 2 copies of that one. Another number 1. Hopefully it ends up getting picked up or something similar here soon. Khazar, Lord of the Savage Land. Love that art. Had a second variant edition there. Here is one of those that end up being a ton of value. The homage to the DJ cover. I got this for, I think, retail. So right around $2.79 a copy. It's well above $20 a copy right now. And that's just from actually getting it from TFAW until today. Like about a month's worth of time. Looks like I got 2, 3, 4. Is there 5 copies here or just 4? Just 4. Wouldn't be one of those days if I didn't have a copy of something I don't actually recall. And that's that one right there. We'll look back and see what that could be here in a minute. He Who Fights with Monsters. This is another number 1 to go with. Just a few copies there. Everybody knows about the hubbub with Harley Quinn. The Harley Quinn Ivy romance. Batman not liking various sorts of activities. A lot of hype coming on into maybe Birds of Prey 2. Maybe the 3rd season now of the Harley Quinn show. We got Future State Gotham. Picked up a few of those. A little bit more DC representation this time. I'm kind of a DC fanboy. So I have to pick up at least a few of those as they come out. Fantastic 435. Got a few of those, 2 different variants of that cover. Actually, 3 different variants of that cover. Invisible Woman, very classic looking. I don't know if they're trying to go through the different eras or not. Defenders, that's going to be big for the MCU eventually. Getting through to the end here, so thanks for sticking with me on this breaking video. It's not a card break. I don't have a lot of new products coming, but here next week I got 10 of those baseball boxes. You can find the value boxes in like Walgreens and Rite Aid. I got them for $3.99 a piece. You go to riteaid.com and you can actually find them. Not a ton of value there, but it's going to be a fun rip, and we'll see if we can make that $40 and change back here just as soon as they drop down. A few copies of Defenders, second printing here. You can look at very Jack Kirby-esque, at least with some of the design here. Like I said, Death of Doctor Strange. Very cool Scotty Young cover there. Another Boom comic, Dark Blood. Picked up a few copies of that. There we go. I didn't know if I actually got a copy. Dark Ages has been the biggest thing with Marvel lately, and I thought I completely whiffed on that, but it looks like I picked up 2 copies of the Scotty Young, the Inyuk version, a few of those, and then trying out some Black Widow comics. There's a recommendation about these that they're pretty hot, that I don't know if they'll be worth anything, but it's worth a shot. And then finally, we get Black Manta, another character who's been fantastically portrayed time and time again. Loved when he was on Batman Brave and the Bold, but just in terms of any DC movies coming down the pipeline, might be worth a little bit. Well, anyways, I think that should be about it. Those are the pickups I had for this go-around. $450 spent. We'll go and check things back in, I don't know, about December for the 3 months, maybe March for the 6 months, February possibly, I don't know, and see if any of these comics really broke out. I'm really excited to see about that Spider-Man DJ cover and some of those Dark Ages comics. Let me know if I got any specifically awesome pickups, if I am likely to lose some money on some of these. This has been Settler 38. Talk to y'all later.